Tonight we are going in depth on an important vote Broken Arrow residents will take coming up in April. The city isn't just growing, it also needs more things daily. It also needs to fix up some things as well. Starting in February, a big push will be made to voters, giving them information about what they're being asked to vote on. Joining me on the program to speak unedited about what is on the table for consideration is City Manager Michael Spurgeon about where this money will go. Back on the program to speak unedited is Broken Arrow City Manager Michael Spurgeon to talk about the GO bond coming up. You will be voting on this if you live in Broken Arrow in April. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate it.
I'm very excited to be here, Rick. Thank you for your time.
Knowing the folks of Broken Arrow, I think the first question off the top of their mind is, does this raise taxes?
Actually, the first 7 propositions, which are property tax related, actually we're presenting the package as no change in the current tax rate. Which means is that, should the voters approve propositions 1 through 7, what their current rate that they're paying for local property taxes, which is a very small portion of their overall property tax burden, will remain exactly the same. And then if they approve the bond package, is that we'll be able to issue those bonds because have bonds that the voters previously paid off. There'll be some capacity, and as the assessed value in the community increases, then we'll have that capacity. It's like you to pay your mortgage, we'll have that capacity. So it won't be one of those situations where $415 million divided by 10, so it won't be the straight $41 million per year. It'll ebb and flow based on previous bonds being paid off, as well as the increase in the assessed value of your community. And right now we're growing population-wise at about 1.5% per year, and we've got 600 or 700 new homes new year, plus new businesses, and so that's going to create that additional capacity that will help us with those dollars to make these amazing improvements to keep our quality of life outstanding in Broken Arrow.
So let's talk about some of this looked like quality of life, but some of this looks like needs. I mean, you have fire trucks in there and road pavement and things like that. How did you balance this out as to what was in this package?
Well, that's a challenge because we started the package 2 years ago, this process or initiative, with a total estimate of potential projects of $1.2 billion. And the only amount of money that we could get to keep the property taxes rate for propositions 1 through 7 was actually get down to $415 million. So there were a lot of amazing projects, but you're actually right. It's a combination of basic infrastructure improvements, which proposition number 1 is your streets and roads. I like to call it asphalt and concrete because it takes care of your streets, your roads. There are 12 road widenings in there. I believe there are 6 to 8 intersection upgrades, sidewalk improvements for where there's a lack of connectivity. There's other major improvements in there. And then public safety. Broken Arrow is the safest community in the state of Oklahoma, one of the safest cities in the country. To do that, you have to make sure that police and fire have the facilities and that more expensive equipment to be able to answer the call when basically that call comes in.
Is it on the public safety side? Do you need more because your city is growing, or is this stuff aging, or is it both?
Very good question. The answer is yes and yes. With regard to, basically everything has a life expectancy. Fire trucks, for example, some of the more expensive equipment that we actually purchase with bond funds, and we are growing. And so I'm excited to say is that probably in February, the City Council will award a contract to build new Station 8 in the northeast part of our community. What's exciting about the bond package in proposition number 2 is there are 2 fire stations that are included in there. First, station number 1, which is located essentially at Main Street and Kenosha, we're going to relocate that to the northwest part of our community to make sure that the run times there are reduced so we can get to the businesses and citizens if there's a call. And we've actually added station 9, which is going to be somewhere on Highway 51. That's a little further down in the package, but that is a named project. Fire station number 9 is, because we are growing, and so it is a combination to make sure that we have the facilities and the equipment to meet the expectations our citizens have when it comes to whenever the bell goes off or a call comes in.
One of the big parts was you are upgrading your sports facilities.
Yes.
And I know there are a lot of families in Broken Arrow with Little League that is a part of their life. What has happened to these facilities? I think we've talked before about some of these have aged, and,
yes,
and maybe we're not the best venue for Little League anymore. Is that the goal here?
Well, just like any other community, there's always more needs than there are funds available, and so cities had to make some choices. And so several of our cities, Indian Springs Sports Complex, for example, Arrowhead Sports Complex, they've aged and they've dated. They haven't had the improvements that some of the other areas of our community have. And so we took a look at the situation, and we decided that 8th proposition, which is sales tax. And actually, we're asking the voters to consider a temporary 0.5% increase in the sales tax for 5 years, and then it's a sunset. There's no plans to continue it beyond that, to actually fund the improvements essentially at 5 different facilities in our community. And so the answer to your question is that Little League, adult sports, I mean, we are a sports community. Broken Arrow has a great sports following, and what we want to do is we want to upgrade those facilities for the children that play there, the adults that play there. Plus, we have so many people that come into the community on the weeknights to play, but also we have the opportunity to actually upgrade our facilities to create more tournaments in Broken Arrow, which are huge economic drivers for hotels, restaurants, and folks when they need their incidentals, whether it's Walmart or Target, CVS, and in between games. But it's a huge draw, youth sports is, and we've kind of lost that because our sports facilities have dated, and now a lot of those tournaments are going to Northwest Arkansas or other places in Oklahoma to be able to play. And so one of our responsibilities as city officials is to create an environment that promotes private investment. Well, what better way to do that than have the kids' place to play and also support our businesses by upgrading our facilities?
I was going to say, have you lost tournaments because of the state of these facilities, or have these leagues said something to you like, hey, fix this up?
Absolutely, especially when it comes to girls fast pitch baseball. They have talked about the fact that anytime it rains, because we don't have turf, there is a huge potential for the rainouts. And when you're actually putting your tournament schedule together, folks look at where the turf facilities are, for example, and they basically schedule those tournaments because you know that the only time you're not going to play is when it's raining at that particular moment. But the drainage systems for turf is designed to where just within a short period of time, you can get back on the fields and play. And so what we want is Broken Arrow to be back on the map again, for our kids to play during the week, as well as to bring more tournaments, because we've lost a lot of tournaments. I've heard this from both of those sports user groups about that. And what's great about the way we're looking at this temporary increase in sales tax is that Broken Arrows would not be paying 100% of the bill. In this case, because so many people from outside the community utilize our facilities, when they come in and they buy dinner or when they stay in the hotels, they're going to help pay for it. So the 100%, once again, it would not be on the backs of the taxpayers in Broken Arrow. It would be spread out amongst those people that would be coming in and using our facilities and using our businesses, which that basically turns around with helps creates jobs, as well as generate additional revenue, not only to help pay off the debt for the sports facilities, but create that sales tax we needed to maintain great services in our community.
Let's say hypothetically, I'm sitting at home. No, not another dime. I pay enough. Why should I be a yes?
Well, I think first off, and I can understand that, because obviously, even a 0.5 cent, in this case, from the estimates we've done, is that this is what it will cost. If you go to Reese's or to Walmart and you spend $100 at groceries, it's going to be additional 50 cents in what you would pay while you're there. 50 cents, and you're going to get potentially $46 to $53 million worth of improvements. And so before anybody says no, I would ask them to do 2 things. Look at the public education materials that we're going to be sending out in the months of February and March. Secondly, is attend one of the public forums that we're going to have in March. We're going to do one a week for 4 weeks. Come to one of the forums. If you have grandkids, talk to your kids. If you know one of the coaches or anybody that's in the organization, whether it's fast pitch for girls, baseball, football, soccer, lacrosse, talk to them about how important the facilities are needed and how small the increase is just for 5 years, and what the turnaround and the value of all of our kids having great places to play, and also being an economic driver to be able to support the businesses that really need our support, especially on the weekends. And so I'd ask folks to just take some time, educate themselves, talk to their friends, talk to their kids who have kids. And one of these times we can talk about how quickly we're going to turn this around with the improvements.
Let's do it. Let's do it next month.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm out of time. Thank you so much. City Manager Michael Spurgeon. Now, the Broken Arrow General Obligation Bond election will take place on April 7th. Voter information and public forums start next month. The city has not just the entire proposal, but all of the videos of the public meetings on how the bond came together on their website, brokenarrowok.gov.